Hi, this is Michelle. I thought it would be hard to identify 20 things that I value for the worksheet, but it was surprisingly easy. I just went through the list of values in the identity section and they pretty much just leapt out at me. I'm surprised at how many things I value. It was actually harder to narrow the top 20 down to my top 10. I wanted to cheat and have 12, but I forced myself to cut it to 10. It was a little strange to see myself from this perspective, but I liked the picture. Each time I wrote down a top 10 value, I heard a little voice in my head saying, I am a person that values achievement, assertiveness, caring, contribution, courage, faith, friendship, fun, independence, justice. Now it's really hard to cut it to 5, but I realize I'm not leaving the other values behind. I'm just getting really focused in order to fit my actions to my values. I value making a contribution. It's important for me to contribute in little ways and hopefully in bigger ways. Otherwise, why am I here? I value courage. I'm not going to get very far in life without having the courage to confront my fears and anxieties, even the little ones. I value friendship. Being a good friend is important to me and something I have to do a lot more work on. I value being independent. I don't like being overly dependent on others and want to make my own way. I value justice. I don't know why I feel so strongly about this, but I do. To live out these top 5 values, I need to identify the settings in which they might be important and how it might look in action. Making a contribution could happen in a lot of settings, from my home to my school to my neighborhood. My actions could range from having a positive or respectful attitude to looking to see what people might need and responding to even little things like picking up litter or smiling at someone who seems down. I have to give more thought to how I might make a difference online. Being courageous feels like it will be a challenge. I know that courage isn't the lack of fear, but the ability to go ahead in spite of the fear. I'm pretty sure there will be times when I don't live up to this value, but I'm committed to getting increasingly good at it. It sounds silly, but I'm afraid to ask questions in class. I can start challenging myself there and have the courage to ask questions. I can also start being more clear about what I do and don't want. I tend to go along just to get along and not get rejected. And I can note situations where I experience anxiety or fear and then decide what I want to do in those settings. I'm not going to get good at this all at once. My independence depends on my ability to make good decisions and to develop my self-management skills. That can play out at home, school, my neighborhood, or community groups. Home and school are probably the keys. To be a better friend, I can focus on the relationship section, particularly the part about what I'm bringing to relationships. With all my friendships, I need to look at how good I am at listening, sharing my thoughts and feelings, and being aware of their experience. Empathy. I'd better look at my conflict skills also. I really do value justice, but I haven't acted much on it. I'm not sure how to go about this, but I can look for groups that work for justice, and I have a neighbor that is active in promoting justice, and I can ask him. I know I'll be challenged to live up to my values, and I'll mess up sometimes along the way, but I like this picture of me. One thing I know I want to do to be successful is to get a couple of people to do this with me. 2 friends, a friend and an adult I trust, or a neighbor or relative. It would be ideal if I was part of a group that could take this on, but I'm not. I'll start with one person and go from there.